actually at RDTM, and we became friends after that because of the sync we felt about what we were doing with the grassroots, with the culture that we found in rural Rajasthan, in rural India, in rural Bengal, and other places. And I was quite fascinated with what Amitabha was doing with artisans, with musicians, dancers, people who were in the arts and in craft. So he is a founder of BanglaNatak.com in Bengal, but he also has promoted a whole ideology which is called Art for Life, and has achieved great success with, and also the attention of international bodies and the support of international and national bodies like the state government, UNESCO and other bodies. So I don't, I mean, he left, he was an IIT, IIT and then very, very established and studied abroad and worked abroad, and then he left all that to do this for the rural resurgence, and that is why he is here today. And I would introduce each person as we go along. So let me begin with you, Amitabha, and your thoughts.
Just introduction, or should I go for the...
Just go for it, and then I'll introduce each person as
So
well.
I'll speak about the rural research.
Yes.
Okay. I will take this. Okay. Can I request you to show the video, please? Yeah. Oh, just before the video starts, thank you, Shrutiji, for this opportunity to speak at this esteemed panel. Firstly, I will start with a video. This is interesting because there is a gentleman called Simon Broughton. Many of you know him. Because Rajasthan, this gentleman has come a number of times, a very well-known music critic, world music critic. Simon Broughton is the executive director of Songlines, one of the most circulated world music magazine based out of London. In his TED Talk in 2017, Simon, within his 18 minutes, spoke almost about 3 minutes about a case study from Bengal. Let's hear what Simon says, because I think that's the best way to introduce the topic.
But on the other side of the world, in India, there's another way music is being used for social transformation that really inspires me. In Calcutta, there's an NGO called BanglaNatak.com. They started out by trying to help village musicians earn a sustainable living, and they've succeeded in doing that. But also, it's brought some surprising benefits as well. Come with me to this village called Gorbanga. 12 years ago, it was in decline. It was dirty and unkempt. The water was polluted and undrinkable. The musicians who lived there, they scraped out a living as unskilled labourers, pulling rickshaws, selling and drinking illicit alcohol. The music that they played most evenings was nothing more than a consolation. But the village I arrived in 2 years ago was a beautiful place, clean and immaculate, with well-built houses and swept yards. These were the unexpected benefits. Health and sanitation had improved. Migration to the cities had decreased. So I sat on a mat to listen to the musicians play their music. They have a beautiful dotara lute and a dholak barrel drum. Between the phrases of their songs, which are mostly spiritual ones about how God is to be found in the human heart, just like Rumi, between their songs, the dholak, played with a plectrum, would weave fantastic melodies accompanied by taps on the drum. These were no longer submissive, depressed, humble beings. They'd been reborn as tigers, proud of their culture. Basically, they've been rebranded as artists rather than unskilled labourers and taught the techniques of presentation, performance and microphone technique. Most of these guys can't read or write, but how can you call someone illiterate when they can sing 1,000 songs? Over 10 years ago, when this project started, these musicians were earning on average 500 rupees a month. They're now earning about 10,000 rupees a month. Now that's still not a lot, it's about $180, but that's much better than $8 a month. On the back wall of their performing platform there's a map with coloured drawing pins showing where they've played around the world. China, Japan, Portugal, France, the UK. And now they have a festival in Gorbanga itself, attracting 6,000 people each January to this tiny village. A lot of them from overseas. And that's something I'd love to do, to go back there to their festival, because it was music that brought us together and led me to meet these people who I would never otherwise have encountered.
I think Simon said what we are talking of. And this is 2017 TED Talk. Simon came there 2012 and 15. I started this journey 2005. I'm an IIT Kharagpur graduate, 89, passed out, 10 years in software, also a Gurukul Shaivaning scholar on leadership and excellence from London School of Economics. People say I left everything for doing this. Trust me, I'm a selfish fellow. I came here to do my social experiment that can really, art and culture, be a tool for poverty alleviation, for participation of people in development, for developing experiential tourism. Because if here a Kalbelia performance happens, that's a presentation. When you go to Kalbelia village, Chopasani, that there you find the cultural expression. The tourist, when they want to talk about experiential tourism, they want to see the expression. They are not interested in presentation. I think it is important for the tourism industry to understand the difference of this. Rural resurgence only happens when actually you understand that heritage is of whom? It's of people. And if the heritage needs to be safeguarded, it has to be safeguarded by the people whose heritage it is. And only when people will safeguard their heritage, when they will value it. Here Simon talked about they are tigers. Trust me, 17 artists are actually, we brought them here, we trained them this summer, they are here interacting with all hoteliers. And they are telling them, come to our village, bring your guests, and we will be giving them the experience. I think that's what we look for. And that's why in today's morning session, Gayatri Rathore talked about the importance of people participation and artist participation, because she interacted with the artist. She was amazed that this has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me to this.
Thank you very much, Amitavaji. Very short, but extremely insightful. Said a lot in a very short period. Thank you so much. We are all inspired, I'm sure. May I come to my next panelist, Dr. Manu Bhatnagar. He is the Principal Director of the Natural Heritage Division. That's the total name of the division. The Natural Heritage Division of INTAC. Manuji, when I invited him to the panel, he spoke to me about certain things which were quite astounding as to how they have, how they have engaged with natural heritage. जैसे कि जो हमारे एकदम जिसको बंजर ज़मीन बोलते हैं, सैंड ड्यून्स बोलते हैं, राजस्थान के एरियाज में जहाँ कोई नहीं जाता था, पर कितनी ज्योग्राफी है हमारे राजस्थान में, किस तरह से इन्होंने अलग अलग खोजे, एनकाउंटर किए और किस तरह से वहाँ पे ऐसे ऐसे अपॉर्चुनिटीज करवा दिए हैं जिससे लोगों की जिंदगी बदल गई है. तो I mean, whenever I talk to Manuji, and this is my personal description of him, he is such an encyclopedia of knowledge on natural and geographical heritage that it's a great opportunity every time we hear him anywhere to educate ourselves as to what we have, particularly in this country. And we can never hear enough from him as to the wonders that lie undiscovered in our geography and in our natural surroundings. So I won't say too much more. I invite Dr. Bhatnagar to speak about his idea